That's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't understand. Maybe I don't understand genres, but they ain't really going in.
but that's the thing. He's very in between, like trying to. It's too many genres in one. I mean, he can get a fan base, but they'll have a very hard time pitching holding where the fuck he's at.
Which usually doesn't necessarily work.
We can give him another shot on that real quick. Do me a favor, move this like in between. Joey, move over there more, so that I can have you guys.
Yeah,
like,
sure. You started?
Yeah. I think we're recording now, right?
You guys are listening to the. I don't really have an answer. I don't ever have an
That's how this bitch get pregnant. I've had regrets in my life, so we're gonna use against me. After this, I'm never gonna explain whether or not I'm reckless. The way that we start is we always are already in the middle of a combo.
Oh, okay.
And so,
are there any rules?
yes. The rules to this podcast are say whatever the fuck you want, however the fuck you want.
Say nigga once.
Can I drop the N-word?
Yo, if you don't say nigga, you banned, my nigga. You don't say nigga, you banned, my nigga. Let me just. All right, real quick.
Hard R or
Hard R.
You gotta lean into that shit. All right, Jobo, talk so I can hear you.
Yo.
All right, Joey, talk so I can hear you.
hello there.
All right, yeah, no, you guys are clean. You guys are really fucking clear right now. It's gonna be bad when it gets loud for a second, but we'll just see what the fuck happens. Let's get this dude. What we've been doing, which is weird. This is a different kind of start. We listened to this guy Teddy Swims on YouTube, and we're trying to see if his original stuff lives up to. Yeah.
You guys are. I was like, nigga, we know we were just listening to Teddy Swims.
I mean, sometimes I might cut all this shit out, but you know, let's just let's see what the fuck some of his original stuff sounds like real quick. Because I like what we were talking about with the fact that he has so many genres, and we want to.
That sounds really bad, right?
I'm not liking the mixing at all.
Yeah.
I'm not liking his band.
Yeah. I'm not liking like.
So he blowing up by his damn
I would
self.
be doing some dark ass music if I had that type of voice, like some real powerful ass, like, bitch.
Cut my wrist the other night. like
That
what?
ass though.
Holy shit!
Yeah. or like pull off like the male version of Adele. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like you need a ballad. You might not even need drums. Like, talk about a breakup from the guy's point of view. You know?
Yeah, he's definitely got some capability.
Like
but
his voice is great.
at the same time, when you're listening to just his band, it's like you're not. It's definitely more of a rock band the more you're listening to it. To me, and then at the same time, you're blowing up off of country and R&B covers. So that's what I'm kind of like.
Yeah, maybe he's going for like the hard country. You know what I'm saying? You know how they have like harder country songs?
Well, he gonna have to talk about a fucking Blue Tacoma or some shit like that at that point. Where the truck songs at? Where the dog songs at? Where's the she left me?
With the bad bitch.
My lady left me.
Lady left me about 16 days ago.
Found her with my cousin.
About the same length of time as my moonshine got to rose.
My sister last night.
Like, did you just compare her? You compared her leaving to how long it takes your moonshine to get made? Like, your perfect time.
Me and my mama had sex the other day.
Whoa. Now that is not a that is not a country staple. Me and my mama had sex. Whoa. Cousin.
Yeah, first off.
Exactly. Second off, she was twice removed. All right.
Back to the regular schedule.
About my bitch and my bitch.
Recording session just cuts out. Hey, now we talked about this. We can fuck our cousins, but we're not fucking our mothers. All right, from the top.
That's some shit that you do, Jimbo. We don't do that.
And we certainly don't write songs about it.
Leave that shit where you got it. God damn, all right. There.
You gotta leave that shit at the doorstep. We done told you about that before.
God damn, I guess I'll just sing about something else, man.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Who else did I have sex with in my family?
Jimbo, sing about something else. Please.
No, Ma. They need to know how much I love you.
Yeah, but no. Oh shit.
No, Mom.
Nobody expected moms to come out. What are you doing here, Mom?
No, Mom. Yo, Mom just in the studio like, yeah, baby, sing it. Yeah, some rough.
My baby does do it right. Like, yo, wow.
Tell them how you sling that thing, baby.
Tell them how you slang it too. But I think that was perfect for what we wanted this episode to be about, because we wanted to talk about the industry differences between before, differences between now, and I think marketing goes into that. And I think it's very difficult for somebody like, for what Teddy Swims is doing, having an organic come up of singing solely country and R&B, which are pretty close in the sense of where their roots come from. So, I mean, I don't see why, you know, at the end of the day, they're both technically considered to be soul. He's singing Luther Vandross. He's singing Mario as if he was Luther Vandross. But, you know, he's doing, you know, all that, and then he's in a rock band. And the rock band clearly ain't getting the same views as that soul.
But that goes to show what I say about a lot of people who have the ability to sing. Some of them don't have the ability to write.
That might be true. But I don't think it's the writing that was killing the rock band part.
I think it was more the band, but I don't know. I don't think the writing. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it was the writing. I mean, whatever the fuck he was talking about. Man, the other night I was
because when you have a band, the writing is considered everything.
Well,
both the writing of the music and the writing of the
yeah, and I mean, listen, I'm not gonna argue because I'm sitting with two niggas who have had bands, so so I'm not gonna argue. I'm gonna take the goddamn education. I don't think that's true. I mean, you tell me, nigga. Is the writing more? We sitting right here with Joey Batts. Totally did not introduce this nigga. He's the first guest we ever had.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, hey there. I didn't know these mics were on.
Remember the MTV Cribs joke? We used to fucking crash and laugh and die over.
Didn't see you there.
Oh, hey.
I didn't see you there.
Hey, we are in his crib, so you know.
Joey Batts, everybody. I'm your best friend. Good to see you. Thanks for having me on, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yo, don't stop talking.
Long time listener.
Like this shit.
Long time listener. First time caller.
16 episodes. And I did say that though. I said we're not gonna have a guest until we like break about 15 to 20 episodes. So that's
bitch, I'm here.
that pretty much happened.
That's
though.
the Joey I want.
That's exactly. Oh hi, buddy. How you doing?
Oh hey there, fella.
I don't want Tom Hanks, Mr. Rogers, because he got the corona.
Oh shit.
What the fuck? What was I saying?
I think you made an interesting point earlier. And I think that this speaks to the industry, and it speaks to the pitfalls that I had when I was writing original music and only original music. Is maybe this guy Teddy Bear? What's his name? Teddy
Swims.
Teddy
Bear. Teddy Bear is me.
I think it speaks to the fact that he only blew up. It wasn't that organic.
You don't think it's organic?
Because he's blowing up off of other people's words.
But no, because when you're talking in the YouTube space. That's the space I know. When you're talking in the YouTube space, organic is, look, I started uploading videos. I found a fan base on my own. It doesn't matter if it was covers or not, because there's plenty of people.
So it's pretty much more based off his actual ability to sing.
Okay.
Yeah, because organic would say he was on American Idol or on The Voice first.
Okay.
That's not necessarily. He may have an organic following through it, but because the first discovery of him was
Just him online.
through major platform. That's not organic. Organic is from the roots, from the basics, from straight up. I just started uploading videos. People found them shits. They love them shits, and they just blew up on their own. That's my definition of organic. Some people maybe
the point that I'm making is that I think people in America would much rather listen to something they're familiar with, as opposed to listening to something original.
Well, that's the classic.
So
trap.
I don't think he'll ever blow up off his original music.
That's the classic trap.
Yeah.
If I was sitting over here, doing.
And I don't think he's getting paid off the covers, is he?
Oh hell yeah, you get paid off of covers.
Really?
Covers fall into the same territory as parody. So so you could fucking sit here and put up the fucking I don't fuck with you beat and make a whole song about fucking I eat my food and I don't fucking chew. Like whatever the fuck it is, you'll still get paid off of that because it's a parody and that's under a certain domain.
But that's a parody where you're switching the lyrics. He's spitting the lyrics exactly as they are.
But covers, you can't tell me that fucking people can't like the fact how I sing somebody else's song. Like, there's plenty of people who get mad cash for just... I don't even think people would do that on YouTube if they didn't get paid. There's people that only have that on YouTube, and then they sing their regular shit when they go on tour. I don't think that it would be as big of a especially YouTube.
That's actually very smart.
It is smart, but I don't know if it's true. Sorry, Brad. I know this is your show. I'm dead serious though.
Get mad and intimidating. Are you saying I'm a liar?
I'm serious. So you're telling me that if I'm Bonnie Raitt, if I'm Adele, and someone's singing my song and making money, I'm not coming after them?
Yes. I mean, if you want, I'll look it up right now.
Type away on your little laptop.
These types of ads are referred to as CPC or cost per click, meaning advertisers. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's perfectly fine in the domain, period. It is. You got to remember, I've been watching a lot. People literally have made careers off of just singing covers on YouTube. Wow. There's people that's
amazing. It truly is.
A guy like him, pretty much, depending on how long he does it, most of his stuff seems to be from last year.
Yeah.
A guy like him, there's plenty of people who have been on YouTube singing covers for 5-6 years.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine you're doing that solely for the promo and the hope that somebody will like your regular shit when you drop that one video out of 25 covers and your one video or your original gets like 500,000, but all your covers get fucking 5 million. I can't imagine you be doing that just to be like, I think you guys like my regular song too. No, cats like Somo, who pretty much Somo doesn't do covers anymore. He just does his regular shit, but that's because he's always on tour.
I guess I thought that was always a form of copyright infringement.
No, I don't think so because it's rendition. I think that's why because parody would be technically your rendition.
Parody makes sense, but a rendition. I get what you're saying there.
Yeah, so I think that's.
So it's not like you're jacking a complete song because that gets flagged immediately.
Exactly. Yeah. It's also another reason why a lot of the times, for instance, he's doing "Let Me Love You," but he's having his band play it. He's not taking the actual instrumental.
Yeah.
So a lot of times you'll see them do that too. Oh, okay, I'm gonna do a mashup of two different songs, but then they'll make an original beat to it, as opposed to actually playing the real song. Because otherwise, then you're getting demonetized just for playing the song in the fucking. You got to get a knockoff version of the song or a knockoff version of the beat, stuff like that. You'll be fine. But if you don't get a knockoff or fucking just play some rendition of the beat, then you're getting demonetized. They gonna claim the fuck out that shit. That nigga's getting paid $8 million, $14 million, fucking all that shit for covers. Yeah. So that's what he's apparently paying for his band.
How come he has headphones and we don't?
I don't really care to wear them.
Plus, I think I can only fit one in this right now. How come he's fucking his girlfriend and we're not? There's only room for one, buddies. In the future, we might be able to have two, but I mean, I really don't want the headphones. Goddamn it. To be honest, I really don't want them, but because it doesn't help me as clear as maybe some other engineers, but fuck that shit.
You look cool.
Oh, thank you, buddy. You know what I'm saying? It matches my shirt right now. That's totally organically planned. I'll be in here with red ones next week. All right. So, my band having friends. My marketing loving friends. My music participating friends.
What's up, man?
Hey.
talking about this industry. I think the easiest way to get into that is to talk about differences and to talk about where we think we are right now. Because I think a lot of people still think we're in like mumble rapper phase. And I think we're pretty much officially out of mumble rapper phase.
I don't think we're completely out, but I think it's very versatile. I feel like there's just a lot of... In hip-hop, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, I mean, I think... listen... If mumble rap was popping 2 years ago, that doesn't mean nobody around.
Plus, I mean, a lot of the mumble rappers are dying. So,
okay.
It's true. Unfortunately, I should
accept it.
Let me. Unfortunately,
who?
All the mumble rap. Well, a lot of.
A lot of people considered XXX to be a mumble rapper, which
but he really wasn't.
He was singing a lot more. Yeah. But
dig in my pants. Yeah, that's my guy.
Dig in my pants. Just because you can't understand some niggas like groggy ass voice, don't mean he mumbling. That's just like, and that was the problem with some of the mumble rap too. Who else? You had the was it Lil Peep? Lil Peep is another one that died.
Yeah.
Juice WRLD, I would say that he was kind of mumble. I mean, you could hear him, you could understand him, but he was definitely... I think some people, and this was my argument when mumble rap was prominent, a lot of these niggas just didn't have the voices that we were used to having.
Yeah.
I can
agree with that.
Like when Jay-Z's sitting over there, you know what I'm saying, talking, it's clear. When Ludacris was talking, what? Like, it was clear. Mm-hmm. There was nobody that was sitting over here just like, until like probably fucking Wayne of your voice till your voice gets so damaged that that's how you talk right now. Yeah. And so I think that's what it was. It was just niggas who typically didn't have powerful, clear, distinct voices finally getting an opportunity in the industry. And niggas was just like, y'all niggas mumbling, we can't hear you. And then when you mix it with the rap style of like triplets, I remember fucking my bitch. You're like, yo, all right, now it sounds like you're rambling, therefore mumbling, because I'm not catching what you're saying. And then have them probably like high and fucking drunk and shit while they're doing the shit anyway.
Yeah, turn Molly.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Percocets.
The years of Molly. Yo, that shit pissed me off when somebody was like, yo, Molly ain't shit but ecstasy crushed up. And I was like, so why the fuck are we sensationalizing this like it's something different?
I think the voice thing is interesting. When you say that, like, if that's where the term mumble rappers came from. I think as soon as technology caught up to us and as soon as recording and as soon as being able to put out music and having the internet to put out music became so popular and oversaturated.
It's an open door.
And it was an open door, and you took out the step of, in order for people to hear my music, I have to perform. In order to perform, I have to use my diaphragm. I have to project my voice, whether I'm on the mic or whether I'm in the cypher.
Not only that.
In a bunch of people. So
but
if you're just used to recording yourself, in your room or in your closet, you don't even understand how to find your voice.
Yeah, that's step one before you're like, yo, your mic performance is ill right now. Like, yeah. It's like, no, this how. But also, you took out a step of it takes somebody else's impression of me to let people hear my music. For instance, it would have took an A&R. It would have took somebody in the industry to let somebody hear it. Yeah. When you take out that step, there could have been plenty of A&Rs like, dog, I'm not gonna lie, I don't like your voice.
Yeah.
And therefore,
or work on it. I like your lyrics, but work on your delivery.
And so nigga that's sitting like here, like, but I got bars, I got blah blah blah. Yeah. Like, and then next thing you know, he got a song out. It takes off. People like this shit. I'm gonna go find another nigga that sounds like his voice is toasted.
Because just me being an artist, like I focus on my delivery probably more sometimes than I focus on a lyric. Like even yesterday when I was like rapping that verse, and I'm like,
what verse?
Nothing.
Nah, you see, this is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They gonna exclude me completely on my own.
Delete that part. I'll go back to it. So I think that when you're recording in your closet, it don't work that way.
No.
I've never done a podcast. I don't know.
Focus on my flow. When I did that verse, I remember exactly how it went down. You was over there. He was over there.
But like. I haven't necessarily used it in that form in a couple of months.
Yeah.
So, it's one of them things where before I even like get into the mode of like wanting to make sure that like a verse is good. I want to make sure that I can deliver it.
Yeah.
So like you can tell that like that's not really as much as a need, I guess, in today's world.
Vocally, it's not. No, I mean, I was listening to a track the other day,
because you got auto-tune, so it's like.
But auto-tune doesn't make up for presence.
It doesn't, but I think what Jobo's talking about is I remember specifically when I was writing Vandalize. You guys probably heard of this album, right? Yeah, we did numbers. We sold like 75 copies. When we went wood in the hood. I specifically remember writing songs and saying, I can't be too bar heavy unless I am able to perform this. Because I ain't got no one to back me up. I don't have a spliff star. I don't have a hype man.
Yeah.
I don't, I'm not going to hop on my track and my track's going to punch me. You know what I mean? So that I remember that being very specific, where I was just like, not only do I have to find my delivery, but I got to make sure that I have the breath to spit this in one.
But I don't know if that means that you can't be bar heavy, because there's plenty of bars you could just let breathe with the flow. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the flow doesn't necessarily have to overcome. The flow can't overcome the bars, but the bars can't overcome the
word heavy. Then is what I guess what I said.
Okay, so you're basically just saying you want to make sure that you got the breath support for it. So were you going? Would you say you were rapping faster in it, and that's why you felt like?
No, I'm making a clear difference between rapping as a performer and rapping as someone who's just lives in the studio.
Yeah,
and I think that if we want to talk about how the industry changed and how hip hop changed, now you got guys that are just not even rapping in concert.
Yeah,
they're just playing their songs, man.
Yeah, and just fucking rocking out
the crowd. To the
and we frown upon that.
Yeah, it feels like a listening party.
Well, I mean, anybody that's a legitimate, where I would say somebody who like us are very interested in all the techniques that go on during the show, know about it around the show, the techniques that go on with recording a song, creating a song, and so forth. Anybody who's a legitimate frowns upon that shit, because it's like, bruh. Especially now, maybe the generation under us, maybe they don't value that shit. But where we came from, showmanship took over the majority of what made you an artist. Being able to perform in the studio, out of the studio. To your example about Vandalize and how you felt like, well, there's nobody to punch me in. I got to be able to make sure I deliver that. When I write, a lot of times I'm singing or I'm rapping pretty fast. And I can usually go ahead and do it. But when I'm recording it, I got to sometimes make sure that I hit those punches for the clarity. But I know I can do it all the way through. And if I can't do it, I always write it so that, after I do it 10, 15, 20 fucking times trying to record the song, I'll be able to do it by the time I'm done doing the song. So that's usually how I do it. So I don't usually worry too much about that. I worry more about spacing when I'm writing. If I'm rapping really fast or some shit, I have to make sure that every word that I wrote down can fit into the proper space and doesn't go, oh, I overlapped on that one. That's okay, I'll punch it. Well, it's not going to make sense once you're on the stage to do it. So you can punch all day, but if it's not going to make sense because you have to cut out 4 fucking words, You have to go to the grocery store the other day, blah, blah, blah. You're not catching. Yeah. There's nothing to catch.
Yeah.
You're already behind. Unless you got some real crazy ass writing style, which I want to see that shit if a nigga can pull that shit off.
Not live.
Yeah, it's never happening. Never live.
Definitely not live.
And I always think about that. I remember, somebody asked me before, while recording, well, why are you singing this song? Why are you singing this song like this if you can't really fully perform it? And it was no, at my level, I could perform it because performing sometimes is different. But in studio, for full clarity, nailing every note, this and that, I wasn't going to be able to perform it. Just fucking, oh, here goes my whole fucking verse. It's clean. You know what I mean? Sometimes for the track, you got to do what you got to do for the track. We was talking about that earlier, how in Atlanta, there's a lot of rappers who just don't write down shit. They just sit here, they think about fucking 1 bar or 2 bars. They fucking spit them shits, turn that shit off, and they think about what else they gonna say. And then they come back in. At that point, I don't think they need to do that. I'm sure they can write it down. I think at that point, it's just the coolness of, Lil Wayne didn't write nothing down. Jay-Z didn't write nothing down. Biggie didn't write nothing down. But they can still perform it. I don't see them having an issue with performing the song because they punched 1 million times.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it's just way different. What I really want to get into is just the
porn addiction.
Nah, I can't talk about that right now. It's a sensitive subject.
My nigga's eyes glazed over for a second, like, oh no, I don't want to be out here like that.
I really want to talk about like the come up, like because I've been trying at this for like 8 years, almost, probably, maybe going on 9, and like
I've been cutting years straight up.
I always want to like, because the internet thing is so big now. But it's like, what are these niggas doing to put themselves in those positions? Like, is it still the who you know thing?
It's totally the who you know thing. I felt that for years. One, I shave off any year that I didn't have any activity, as in the sense of like if I might have been trying to get a project, but if I didn't have a project until 3 years ago or 2 years ago, then I ain't been doing this shit for 8 years. I've been fucking a fan studying this shit for 8 years.
I've been pretty. I drop once a year.
Yeah, but what you got? 3-4 projects?
Yeah.
And that came from about 4 or 5 years ago?
Last year, then the year before that was like user-ish stuff, right?
Yeah. Bro, you can't shave off years, though.
Nah, nigga, I'm shaving years. This is what I'm saying. No. You know why I'm shaving?
Yeah, because if you've been attacking something, I agree with Joey. If you've been attacking something for whatever,
you sound real dumb.
No. No, here's what I'm saying about shaving years.
No, I know what you're saying. You don't have to explain it to me.
No. I didn't
explain it to the listeners.
I'm not saying if you didn't drop something in a year, you shave that year.
Listeners, I'm correct.
No.
I am correct.
Yeah.
When was your first project?
About 3 years ago.
Your first project?
2-3 years ago, yeah. It took me a long time to be able to find the right people who could actually engineer me appropriately for me to be able to do it.
When was the first time you wrote a song?
First time I wrote a song. Now, shit, nigga, you going back. Shit, I was probably 18.
All right, so you've been at it for 30 years.
See, I'm a veteran. Listen to everything. He's right. Fuck no, I'm right. Because I am a veteran. Play Marcus Houston.
All right, so Jay Electronica drops his first album. Is he eligible for the Rookie of the Year? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he's actually eligible for Best New Artist at next year's Grammys.
I technically, you're absolutely fucking right. That's a huge. Again. I think that's a great debate. Just this time, I think that's a great debate. But the reason why I wouldn't say the same for him is because he's been doing it professionally for 10 years, 11 years, whatever the fuck it is.
I'm trying to think.
Because, he's literally been on tracks with Jay-Z and shit 10 years ago. He's been doing it and signed for 10 years. So, I can't say...
So you don't become professional until you're...
I know. I feel like I think when you bring professional and amateur into it, it's just two different categories on how long you've been doing something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay. I get what you're saying, and that I feel like that might be a different conversation because the people at this table don't know anything about being a professional in that regard.
Like, when you're a professional and niggas go, I've been in this industry for fucking... sometimes you hear artists say, oh, I've been in this industry for 11 years. And you'll be like, what the fuck you mean? He only did his first project 8 years ago, but that nigga was writing for people 3 years before that or some shit like that.
So now to your other point, to your other point, I feel that as an artist, you can't shave off years because technically, I think the first time you spend money trying to create music and trying to put music out, I think that starts your path.
Yeah, that still would have been me like 3-4 years ago.
And that's
because I didn't spend money until the first project. Everything else we was doing was like Cuddlebear Gang and shit like that.
But like just because I didn't put out music
Cuddlebear Gang
between
really
like
send my years
Vandalize and the Yuzu album, I can't get rid of that year because that whole year I was doing stuff.
So
I just don't.
I don't mean
like
all right, I might have said it wrong when I said taking away years of inactivity. What I mean is years before you like really got active. Like
okay, then then that's
which
good.
is why
You're
like
right.
as amateurs for us, we're fans until we actually started. Like I'm working on this project.
Yeah. So if I wrote my first song in 1994, but I didn't fucking perform until 2003, I didn't start making money until 2005.
Exactly. Like like if you just started songwriting when you were 13, that don't mean just man, I've been doing this shit for 20 years.
Yeah.
No, you haven't. You ain't start doing it until you was really trying to record.
That's a good point.
Everything before that, I had recorded a couple little things here and there, or done, CBG, which is, parody and things like that, but I hadn't actually been doing it like, I'm working on this project. I got these songs. I'm this and that. I might have been writing my ass off.
Yeah.
But at that point, I'm just a fucking fan. I'm just fucking, people write fan fiction all fucking day. That doesn't make them an author.
So to go back to Jobo's point, like, it is definitely who you know. I think it also has a lot to do with money. Yeah. Because money will get you in the door, and money will make the people that you don't know the people that you know. They may not be loyal to you.
I don't think the reason why I don't bring up the money, and the reason why I think it's who you know, is because especially like in rap, a lot of the people we've seen come up in the past, let's like say 5 or 6 years, especially the young guys, the main reason why they were able to take off or whatever solely came from the fact that I'm 16, 17, 18. I'm currently in high school and I'm in the climate where digital age is fucking ruling. And most people, even if they don't fucking like you in high school, same thing when we was in high school. If they go, oh, I'm a rapper, I'm a singer, I do this or whatever. Even if they just want to hate on you, they'll listen to your shit. And if they decide that they randomly like it, then great. So even when you leave high school, you're still kind of connected to these people through Facebook or through MySpace back, in the day or whatever the fuck it was. So when you start dropping, they ain't got shit going on. You ain't got shit going on other than what you just did. So it's easier for them to listen and then be like, yo, this dude's really out here doing it. And that's usually how that traction comes. Whereas now, once you like fucking, 28, 30 and shit like that, there's fewer people in your purview and they care a hell of a lot less about whatever the fuck you got going on. Because they're doing whatever they want to do.
What point are you trying to make?
The point that I make with that is that the younger guys have a more organic come up without the money solely because you care solely from the proximity of being around the other people who would listen.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Sure.
When you're like 30, it's not the same as like, oh yeah, man, I'm in a school with like 200 kids who just... They maybe make fun of me, but then they heard I make a song. Now I've converted 200 fans. Yeah. It happens a lot quicker from them just being like, I ain't got shit going on, but this guy, whatever, I'm about to listen to it just to clown on him. Or I'm going to listen to it to support him. They then, because they use the streaming more and things like that.
How does that connect to the industry?
That connects to the industry because then they end up becoming the industry. They become that rapper you're listening to. They become Lil Peep. They become XXXTentacion. They become, whatever fucking young rap, whatever Lil or Baby or whatever the fuck is out. Like they become that and therefore they are the industry. Same thing with even like Lil Dicky. Lil Dicky basically did what he did right after college. That's the same climate. Yeah, you're a little older than fucking 16, 17, 18, but it's the same climate. There's a whole bunch of people that maybe have met you throughout classes, this and that, you've made laugh or gone to functions with and so forth, and the investment that they can take in you is going to be a lot easier to come by than when they're in the real world and they would have to somehow find you.
But you're still thinking of a small community versus an entire nation.
But that small community turns into... the nation.
Dude, not every time.
Not every time. No, not every time.
That's such a small percentage.
But it's because of the proximity that it becomes easier.
I think more times than not. I think out of 10 times, that might happen once or twice.
The
other 8 out of 10 times is that the industry and that the media is telling us what is hot right now and what we want to listen to.
I think back in the day, that's exactly what the media did. But we've had a lot more come-ups where at this point, the industry had to catch up to the youngins. Because it's like, what do you mean? I ain't trying to fucking look at this rainbow color hair, fucking whatever, this and that. Yeah, but look at his numbers. and that's solely off of proximity of being around people who were gonna listen to you first. Like, yeah, I know this guy. He's in my senior class. He's in my this and that. And then after a year or two, he's got really organic numbers simply from being in the proximity of people who could care.
Wasn't he doing completely different music in like Europe?
Yeah,
though?
he was doing like rock.
Which guy are we talking about?
The rainbow colored clown that you mentioned.
I mean, how many of them are there?
Yeah.
There's only one.
What are you talking about? You're talking
Rainbow hair colored?
Listen, Tekashi, Lil Peep got rainbow colored hair. Fucking
remember
when
Lil
you
Peep.
start mentioning fucking a lot of the Chicago kids fucking had like red hair and then purple hair and then whatever.
Oh, yeah, I know like Yachty had red hair.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So
Oh, the rainbow got 6 colors in it, bro.
You know, well, that's what I'm saying. Anybody with the fucking, I got fucking curls or dreads and they are colored. like that's it. Whether it's one color, whether it's multicolor, any rainbow color. You know, that's why I think it's not really the money so much. It's totally the proximity.
So with that being said, because it sounds like it's more about an interaction thing from the perspective of even like a Little Dicky, where you're talking about, you know, him being in college, him hanging out with people, him, you know, building that rapport with people.
Yep.
To put himself in a position to where it may be less of a bad taste in their mouths if he asks to, like, hey, bump my shit.
Yeah.
So do you think it's more about just being more interactive?
No, I just think it's the investment that people are taking you when you're around versus not. Like, for instance, when I started YouTube, fucking, 2013, 2014, whatever fucking year I started YouTube, 2011, whatever. I was out here being around a lot more people, partying or doing whatever. So when they were on my social media and I dropped the video, more of those people end up looking at it. So it could be not the world's greatest video in the world, but then overnight it has 500 fucking clicks or some shit. As opposed to now, when I don't have that lifestyle and I'm not really that connected to those people, they may be on my social media, but you know, social media's changed with algorithms and all this other stuff. And I can hit them up now, but it's been 6-7 years since then. You dig what I'm saying? I would have to do a lot more legwork to get them to tune in to me now than I would have when I was actually actively around them or not too far from when I was around them.
Okay. I can understand that.
Do you disagree, Joey? Because you have a knife in your hand. And
I still think it's a very small point. I don't think any of us at this table can talk about the industry at all. Because at the end of the day, not many people know who the fuck we are.
But you know what? I don't think it's about who you are because we've been fans for so long. We've been dissecting the fuck out of the industry ourselves as fans and as therefore amateur analysts.
I can't put myself in that category.
You know,
I haven't done that as much as the two of you have.
Yeah, I mean, I literally that's how I taught myself to write a certain caliber of song. Is I sat there and I had LimeWire and I fucking downloaded, oh, this must be the new Bobby Valentino single or some shit. And then fucking I get it and then he drops his real single and I'm like, this ain't the song that I downloaded. And then and then he fucking drops the album and the song I downloaded ain't nowhere on there. And then I got 5 others that also weren't on there. And I start to think, well, why did these make it and not this one make it? And why? And then I'm listening, now I'm hearing the sound quality like this one didn't make it that far into the process. You know, because the mixing ain't a certain type of level and so forth. So I really sat there and just broke down a lot of the things that the industry was doing versus how the industry was being penetrated by new technology. And then I started going, okay, so to write a good song or a song that is an album cut or whatever the fuck, this is how you do it. You know what I'm saying? Like this has this quality versus that quality. Now, of course, that changes because then it opens the scope, especially now. It opens the scope of artistry and like, well, what the fuck is a good song? What the fuck is a bad song? But at the time, I was basically thinking industry and what they want. And how do I constantly make sure that everything that comes out of me is industry level? Whereas now, because the industry doesn't dictate that, you know, that education is not necessarily moot or like lost, but it just doesn't mean what it meant when I was doing this shit in fucking 2004 or 2005. Because, you know, a lot of shit changed right after, like, what I'd say 2009-ish, 2010.
Yeah, that's when Wayne got hot.
Yeah, exactly, and that's when the scope of stuff started changing with the mixtape. You know how much now I'm getting found off of the work that I put in first, as opposed to I'm getting found and then they're teaching me how to put in the work. But I was operating off of the trying to figure out what the fuck you wanted from me and how to make sure I operated at that level. So when you found me, it seemed like I had already done that work.
There was a question or a point I wanted to make, but I kind of forgot.
Sorry. Joey had the knife, and I was just like, I better give him an answer.
Oh, man. What the fuck was this point I was going to make?
Is that like a decent answer for you, Joey?
Yeah.
Did that make sense? You know what I'm saying? I like to make sure that I'm, communicating myself a certain type of way. Because last time you almost stabbed me for not doing it.
Bro, I didn't say, I'm not stabbed.
He was like, all right, well, I don't pick up the knife. How do I open this again? Like, he don't like my point. He gonna give me his.
Y'all really forgot that point I was gonna make.
Damn, my bad. Whatchamacallit?
Shit.
What was we just talking about? That's
I think that
we're talking about industry dictation. Okay.
Yeah, and like maybe the conversation needs to just be considered just Connecticut only.
I mean, if it's Connecticut only, I think a big thing with what happens in Connecticut is just significant disconnect. Like at the end of the day, like I was listening to a kid the other day that I don't know his name or whatever, but nowadays since it's we've had a good 10 years of in-home studio and shit like that now, like even the 16, 17-year-old kids sound better than we did when we started because of how many more examples they have to draw from and learn from and therefore not perform how we did. Whereas I guarantee you, if you listen to your first fucking song right now, you'll be like, bruh, I had zero life and it wasn't a style. I was really trying. If it's just Connecticut, I mean, Connecticut always ends up going down to fucking just culture and society. Like we don't have a lot based here. We don't have, even venues at this point. Like it's difficult sometimes to find. Like it's just friends. It's a lot of it seems to be like making venues from friends that you know, and then hopefully they end up sticking around. We don't have like a professional fucking SOBs or. What's another one that maybe New York or LA, you know what I'm saying? Like we don't have something where it's like you guarantee whether it's amateur or professional, people are performing there and you can count on that place to have some shit like that. Like even fucking Netflix show Rhythm and Flow, when they wanted a place to have everybody go to for the fucking arts in New York, they went to SOBs. When they wanted a place like that in Atlanta, they fucking found a place in Atlanta. I think Connecticut just doesn't have that culture. We have talented people, absolutely. I mean, what place doesn't have talented people?
I feel like we did have that culture.
We were trying to build it. We definitely were trying to.
There was like a real peak point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
then it just kind of went quiet.
Well, I mean,
and then as it went quiet, then you started to.
I think that came from fucking lack of cooperation. I think that and not only that, but like when you go to Atlanta, like. There's literally, at that point, sometimes throwing a fucking dime out the fucking window and finding somebody who has talent. And maybe that's because there's people coming from all around the fucking country going to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Or same thing going to, LA. You throw a dime out the window, you're going to hit somebody that's hot. Like, that's just what it is, sexy bitch. Like, because there's people coming from all around the country moving to LA. It's not the same with Connecticut. So there was a lot of times, I think, in the beginning, where there were certain people where it's like, oh, he's making beats, but then when you would listen to his beats versus listening to somebody else's beat, you'd be like, these beats need work. They need better mixing. They need something. And at the end of the day, also, there's a shit ton of fucking pride in Connecticut. There's a lot of people wanting to operate or thinking they operate on a different level than they do. And taking constructive criticism to tell them, this could be a little better by, or maybe, I don't know, it's operating at a 6 right now, but I know you think it's a 10. People don't want to embrace that you have different levels. People don't want to embrace that. Whereas I sat there looking at the industry for fucking 5 years straight, trying to see what they wanted, what they didn't want. They don't want to embrace, well, I just started making beats last night and I didn't look at the industry at all. Well, you try to say you're smarter than me? I'm just trying to say that I've fucking been looking at this differently for a long time. it becomes. I think a lot of standing in the way in Connecticut ends up being significant just pride.
Yeah, I think it has to do with money. I'm still gonna hold on to that.
You think?
I feel like I have a little bit more experience than you.
I mean, tell me why you
still think it comes down to money.
Tell me why you hold down to. You think that people aren't putting enough money into Connecticut?
No, I didn't say that.
Or
I think that anybody who is getting pushed out on 93.7, I think anybody that is getting pushed out into the media, anybody who is getting, those local shows, anybody who's on those bills with industry people, that's just coming from strictly money.
Yeah, if we're talking at that level, when you said money, I thought you meant the very beginning, which is what I've mostly been talking about, the origins of the young artist. When you're talking about like taking it from I'm dead ass an amateur, but I've been making music, and then how am I propelling? Then yeah, there's a money element that comes into it, because as the radio personalities like it if you put a little bit of something in their pocket for them to play your shit, or some people say that they fucking need to send a gift to the radio or whatever the fuck it is, and that becomes relationships. But it's still, those relationships still start to boil down to who you know, regardless, whether it's organic and I was just a high schooler or a college kid around these people, or I put a little money in some people's pocket enough where we formed a relationship out of it. It still boils down to more who you know than money, I would say. But yeah, at that point, yes, there is a money element.
Because I'm even thinking about, the, like we talked about, me and Joey talked about this a lot, like how niggas open for certain artists and what they have to pay and if it's worth it or not. And I've always had certain artists I felt like it would be worth it for, and then certain artists was like, no.
Yeah.
So, but I do agree that, like, if I feel like it's more money than anything, because I could think of a few artists who put themselves in certain positions where if they didn't have money, they would be looked at as garbage. Like, you're not talented and you're not worth.
You mean local artists, or you mean just in general?
In general.
Like I would say that about, and I've just never been a fan of the guy, but like French Montana to me, I feel like with a little money it helped. Like certain.
The wild thing about French is French literally was one of the few niggas that actually like got popping from Connecticut. Like he's not from Connecticut, but he used Connecticut.
Yeah.
There's so many. I get what you're saying.
He was moving drugs through Connecticut.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is shit, nigga. Hey man, I got the drugs, but take this mixtape too. like fucking, bump this shit when you high, and then be like, yo, you know what? I've been missing bumping French. Next thing you know, my streams is up, nigga. Hey. Yeah, I definitely, I agree with that. I don't have a counterpoint on that, but I definitely think that at that point, is it worth it to open up for somebody? That's an interesting point I want to stick on. Is it worth it? I think it depends on what the fuck you do and is it worth it. Because for instance, when me and Jobo went to see, I think was it Lil Wayne? It was Lil Wayne. Was it the Lil Wayne and T.I. show?
Probably.
And like fucking G-Eazy came out.
Oh yeah,
we was like, who the fuck is this like wannabe Drake? Fucking like moving his hands like Drake, moving around like Drake. Flow pretty much is Drake. Like we was like, who the fuck is this? And then the name G-Eazy, we was like, that shit corny, that shit weak, that shit whack. And then like a year and a half, but he was opening up for Wayne now. We talking shit, but he further than us. And then like a year and a half later, niggas got a song out, like and it's circulated and it's bubbling and shit. So when you say is it worth it to open up for somebody, I think he was a more or less like on half of that tour at least. So
the shows
but that doesn't count, man. That doesn't count.
No, that's no, because you know what? Because
that doesn't count as opening up for somebody,
yes,
bro.
You're
on tour with them. You get paid.
He opened up for Lil Wayne. None of us knew him.
It doesn't fucking matter.
He opened up for Lil Wayne. We didn't know him. It might not have counted for me and him, for me and Jobo.
It's different. it's different because when we say pay somebody to open up for him, we mean like if Styles P was at Toad's place and he was looking for an opener and you have to pay him to perform.
How the fuck we don't know that he fucking paid Lil Wayne just to be on the tour? Literally, Trey Songz was on tour with fucking Neo, got paid no money for the tour, almost very little, and followed Neo's tour bus driving his own goddamn car to every location.
Bro,
we do not know.
You are obsessing over industry people. We're having two different conversations.
I mean, if we're only
talking the last 20 minutes,
but we're still talking the integration going from local into industry. It always still revolves around.
And Trey Songz wasn't a local dude before he did that.
No, he wasn't. But he had his first album out.
Okay,
he had his first album out.
I don't like what the fuck point.
What? Because if you're still saying whether or not it's just on the topic of whether or not it's worth it to, let's just say, like, open up for somebody. Even in the industry, it may not be worth it to open up for somebody. It may not be worth it to pay somebody to open up for them, is what I'm saying. So I'm talking a broader scope of not just local.
It's probably not even their. It's not even their decision, dog. That wasn't G-Eazy's decision. That wasn't his fucking decision at all.
How do we know that?
The people that were, I guarantee it, man. I wish I could get his people on the phone.
Was it Trey Songz's decision? Yes. His people,
the machine behind him.
His machine did not tell him to do that.
How do you know that?
Well, because he literally said his machine did not tell him to do that. I've watched the interviews.
I can't. I don't know if I could talk to Ren, man. I can't.
What you mean?
We're having two completely different fucking conversations.
So what is the conversation?
You want to talk about local people trying to get into the industry? You want to talk about industry people being in the industry?
How do you think?
I can't talk about the second fucking thing because I don't know a motherfucker in the industry.
All right. So how do you think local people get into the industry?
Just money. No.
Just money.
Just money.
Just they must be either working 3 jobs or a drug dealer, and they pay enough radio niggas until they get to pay other niggas.
They're giving somebody with money to help them get those connections that they want.
So okay, so I'll make an example. Annoyed.
Okay.
What do you think his particular? I don't think he's considered industry.
No.
But what was his particular? What got him on Flex?
Money.
That's kind of what we're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah. So like
money.
So specifically, what's getting local people to the opportunity?
Jobo could be on Flex in a month if he saved up a certain amount of money. I guarantee you. I mean, you don't need. I mean, does it help that you have a following? Does it help that you have a wave? Of course. But there's plenty of random motherfuckers that are going on Flex and those clips never go viral because no one wants to see those fucking clips.
Yeah.
And that clip circulates around a friend group of maybe 50 people, and then it's done.
I wonder, because I agree with you on that, especially with when people don't know you a lot of times, they don't just check out their clips. You know, like sometimes I watch Sway and he'll have a fucking freestyle thing and I'll be like, all right, I'll just check it out just because I want to hear some freestyle and see what this person's about.
Sure.
But that's the regular curiosity as me as a fan or an artist or whatever you want to call it. At the same time, I think one thing that doesn't help with the Flex thing is that you've got, say, me or any one of us at this table, our clip is sitting right next to Young and May's clip. It's sitting right next to fucking G Herbo's clip. It's sitting right next to. So it's like, who you really about to click on? I better hope your fucking autoplay is on.
But
my shit just be like, yeah, what's going on?
And now I think that's the issue. Is that I think, right? If we're gonna try to tie in pieces of this conversation that we have spoken about previously, so there is no organic growth in that regard. However, I truly believe that is the route that people want to take. I truly believe, and that's been the change from 2020 to 2010, is that in 2020, everybody thinks, okay, I got to get my bread up. I got to make sure that I pay Tory Lanez to fucking hop on a bill.
Oh, you definitely have to.
Mama, I made it. My name's on a flyer with the locks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that, no one ever thinks about it like insert organic rapper.
Yep.
No one ever thinks about it like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I could speak on this specifically because I had nothing but a grassroots organic effort in this state. And I reached my ceiling very, very quickly. That's why I could speak on that. You know what I'm saying?
In 2010, people thought slightly different on that.
No, I'm saying that I still reached. No, I thought specifically like, all right, boom, I got to make songs. I got to go to shows. I got to talk to people. I got to be the mayor. I put my fucking face on a sticker. Joey Bassist, Joey Bassist, Joey Bassist.
Yep.
And that still got me only to a certain level.
Yeah.
And the reason I didn't
was
fucking...
good marketing.
Thank you. The reason I didn't fucking break that ceiling is because I never fucking put $5,000 in somebody's name.
You never switched up. You tried to have it be too organic, you feel?
I don't think it was a feeling.
Yeah.
It was just what I was able to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was just what I was able to do.
Yeah.
You know, and I think, you know, I'm not going to speak on anybody's name, but I know that it's, you know, it's a lot easier if the, you know, whatever income you have coming in, whatever money you have coming in, whatever bar mitzvah money that you may have, you know, birthday money.
Shots to Lil Dicky right now, yo.
Whatever things that you may have, there are maybe 4 to 6 people in Connecticut that will say, okay, boom, we're going to run with this. Yeah. And you're hot now. And you don't see it in any genre but hip hop, man. And that's what's so fucking crazy, man. As long as I've been in Connecticut since 2000, every 2 years, there's some new black rapper that they're pushing on 93.7.
Some new black.
You know, there's some new shit, and like, you know, the North End fucks with it. Yeah. Parts of Hartford fuck with it. Windsor, Bloomfield, you know what I'm saying? New Britain, East Hartford, they fuck with it, but then he's gone, dog. He's fucking gone in 2 years. And I guarantee it. He's got some fucked up credit, or he's got some fucking debt. Bro, that shit is real fucking life.
Because you feel like,
you know,
pretty much once the bag stopped coming to him, they stopped pushing.
And it's not even, the bag was never fucking coming to him, right? And that's the point. The bag was always going to somebody else.
Yeah.
And even that person realized that he didn't have the fucking thing. And what do? Abort. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, as opposed to building something up yourself where you are seeing the money and you are reinvesting it into whatever your art is. And you know, like, I don't know, but I just feel like there's, like, for some reason, the ceiling is just lower for, like, the niggas that do it organically.
I mean, if we're talking specifically just only Connecticut, then yeah, I think that at some point somebody opens up their piggy bank. I've literally been told by some people sometimes, like, look, you know, this person would definitely do an interview if you just put, you know, a couple bucks in their pocket or whatever like that. Like, and sometimes, you know, that helps.
Yeah, I don't see. I've always been under. See, I've always said it has to be worth it, because we've had this conversation plenty of times where it's like, yo, if this dude, would you do it? And I'll be like, no. Yeah. You feel me? Like, if it's, because I've always feel like if you're a street rapper type thing, and the Locks was at fucking Toad's Place or some shit, and that's the crowd,
yeah,
might be worth it.
Yeah.
Won't be worth it for me because I'm not that type of artist.
Yeah.
You feel me? But
you about to get that fucking Drake at fucking Tyler the
Creator. Yeah, like straight up. Like
nigga.
Yeah. Some shit. What the fuck was the point I was making?
If it's
so
worth
yeah, pretty much. If it's worth it, maybe. But I still think, like, even for Connecticut, like, you would think these, like, radio stations would really want to be the first to really break something, like, super fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, but they...
I even think that opening thing, man, I think that opening thing has flaws as well. You know?
Yeah.
There are plenty of people who... You know, all right, boom, I dropped $300.
I got to open for...
I dropped $300. I opened for the Locks.
Yep.
Like, there are so many people in that fucking audience. Maybe 10 people give you props.
Yeah.
And you could have murdered it, dog. Yeah. Yo, at the end of the day, my name is not famous.
Yeah.
You know? I mean... And
yeah. You were good, but we came here for the Locks.
So what benefit? You know?
Yeah.
Yo, I got a book bag with some CDs in it. Yo, I got some music on a USB. Yo, I got t-shirts. Yo, I got this. Yo, you want to... You know? Bro, they're not. I hate to be negative, right?
No. Listen. No, look.
Like, that's a reality.
Don't get it twisted. This is a very solid conversation. There's no negativity here, you know, at all. I hear what you're saying. I'm not taking negativity against it. Shit, if anything, me and Jobo don't argue enough on this podcast. Yeah. so it is what it is. But but that doesn't mean that there's like less fucking respect or anything like that by any means. I think going to what you were just saying and what you both were just saying as far as is it worth it? Whether it is to pay somebody, whether it is to open up for somebody. Of course, definitely. I think looking at who the artist is would help. I also think, and I think I was telling Joe about this about, I don't know, maybe a month or two ago. I think sometimes it still falls into what I call the marketing principle, which is when a movie's coming out or when an album is coming out or anything, and they go out there and they make a fucking billboard and they put up the billboard, they are spending, let's say they spend fucking $3 million for fucking promotion or marketing, knowing that only 10% of people who actually see that billboard or see that marketing might actually check it out or might actually go. That's literally, unfortunately, how a lot of marketing works. And marketing in itself is a lot of expenditure for minimal results, hoping that those results will start to stack up on each other. Mm-hmm. It's pretty much, selling a product. No different than fucking going to the sandwich place and they start giving you little samples. Guess what? You're losing money every fucking sandwich you cut into fucking 20 pieces to give out. But you're doing that because you're like, if I give you this little sample, hopefully that sample is enough. And it comes down to what your product is. Every song to me that I write, that I decide to put out in a major way, as opposed to maybe I'll put it on the album, whatever like that. Every song technically is a sample. You know what I'm saying? Because say you would have make an album, 15 tracks, whatever. You throw the shit on Spotify, and it falls into upcoming artist playlist, and somebody click upcoming artist playlist, and your song pops up. Any song on that album. Now, you could have had a bunch of songs that this one song is a 5-star song to me, and this song is a 2-star song to me, but there's some merit to it, and this song is a 4-star song to me. Whether it's the 2-star song or the 5-star song, that song is now a sample of somebody who maybe hasn't eaten your sandwich. You know what I'm saying? And it's just supposed to be enough to get them to go, I'm going to go and buy that sandwich.
Here's the major problem with what you just said. We don't have the fucking bank that movie studios have.
Not at all.
The 10% of people that might like my shit, I can't afford to lose the 90% of motherfuckers that don't.
Absolutely.
That's the biggest fucking problem, dog.
Yeah.
That's the biggest fucking problem. I'm not cutting up a Joey Bat sandwich, dog. You buying this fucking sandwich, man. you buying this fucking sandwich. You
Joey about to run up on you, nigga.
You buying a sandwich because I know where you fucking live. You know what I'm saying? Like I know. This is Connecticut. You know what I'm saying? And that speaks to my other point, Ren. That's why the conversation of America. Connecticut ain't shit in the grand scheme of the 50 states. You know what I'm saying? We're like barely above Delaware. You know what I'm saying?
Delaware might have a couple points on it. Like,
right? Because they're close to Maryland. Exactly.
There you go.
Right? So it's one of
proximity.
It's one of those things. But like, all right, we want to talk about local industry. You know, let's talk about you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When are you putting out a fucking product?
Yeah.
When are you putting out a project?
You asking me?
Yes.
Right now?
Or are you?
Oh yeah, I definitely plan on it.
How the fuck are you gonna do that?
Well, I didn't have the funds to do that.
So how does fucking Teddy get into the industry? How does Jobo get into the industry? How does Joey Bats get into the industry? That's the fucking conversation that I'm interested in, because that's the conversation that fucking 20, 23, 24-year-olds need to fucking hear.
I think.
Because you know what's fucked up, and I'll let you get to your point. You know what's fucked up is because they do see their 93.7 is a fucking big deal to them, even though we know in the grand scheme of that it's not, because we're older and wiser.
We've been on it,
and we've been on it, and we weathered that. Yeah, but
motherfuckers, be so wild when you think about that.
Yo, motherfuckers really, I'm telling you, man, motherfuckers really thought Mook and Fair was up there with Mobb Deep. Motherfuckers really thought that fucking Annoyed was up there with Lil Wayne and Drake. Motherfuckers really thought that Mike Flows was the next coming of LL Cool J. I don't fucking know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I remember when fucking.
I don't know if Mike Flows sound like LL Cool J.
Nah, but he's saying from.
I know his point, but you know.
So like, I remember I got a couple of phone calls when fucking Attack was on the radio.
Yeah.
Yes,
and
sir.
niggas just like, oh my God, you're on the radio. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm still in my mom's house. I'm sitting on the couch in my mom's house eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
And there's an incredible amount of disconnect there locally. You know what I mean? And I think that is what concerns me. You know what I mean? Like that's what I would fucking worry about.
But when we talk about that locally, for instance, the calls that you received, were they from people like us, or were they from people who, of course, wouldn't know? It's just really great to hear you on the radio.
Yeah, just people who half-ass pay attention and just like, wait, is that Jobo's voice?
Yeah.
Oh shit, and you're just like, yeah, like that's cool, like it's an accomplishment. Yeah, I'm not gonna fucking downplay it, but like, nigga, I'm still.
Well, you know, but that's the difference is that we all have much greater knowledge about what that is and how that goes than the common consumer, the person that we're hoping will like us and buy our fucking, not only our music, but our fucking merch when we drop it and so forth and so on. So I'll never fault the common consumer because I've never had their brain. You know, even when I didn't know anything, I still don't think I had the common consumer's brain. You know, because I still don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Even me, I just go to fuck music. Even when I go to Comic-Con, I see people just paying for the fucking photo op all the time. Like, I don't fully get why you do the photo op versus I'm going to get something signed that raises the value. I don't collect anything that doesn't have a value that may go up or may go down because I require to have that investment. Because the thing is, a lot of times, and I get it, if you're just a fan, it'd just be great to be like, oh my God, I breathe their air. Don't get it twisted. Margot Robbie come to a fucking con. Yes, I'm getting the autograph. Yes, I'm getting the photo op. Don't play me. But some people just have only the worth in...
Does he do this all the fucking time, bro? When does he make his points? How long does it take him to make his goddamn points? What the fuck are you talking about, Comic-Con?
What I'm saying is the example
he makes comparisons.
I don't give a fuck about these comparisons, bro.
But I make comparisons so that they're easier to be absorbed. What I'm saying is that from the common consumer, I would not blame the common consumer for what they think because of something that we know isn't as big of an accomplishment as what it is.
But how does that speak to the point of the guidance that we're giving to people who hope to crack the industry? I do agree with the consumer thing. I even agree with the Comic-Con thing. I'm just saying I don't understand what the point is.
Well, also, you know, we gotta talk about some shit here. I think what we're doing and what the main conversation still is a lot of speculation. And it's supposed to be speculation because I can't tell you how to crack the industry, and I didn't crack the industry. But there's also multiple ways to crack the industry. So I think the discussion ultimately becomes, do we think that, like back in the day, our mindset was there's only one way to crack the industry. And there damn near was really only one way to crack the industry. Versus now, how many different ways are there? And I think that's what the biggest umbrella portion of the conversation is. You get what I'm saying?
I do.
To find those streams of drops or whatever the fuck you want to call them and be able to shed light on that. You know, now what somebody takes from that.
Do you think the industry's broken?
Expand upon that.
Do you think that it's not even a fair goal to strive to be a part of that industry? Like retaining and keeping your independence is essentially better.
Oh, okay. Oh.
I feel like I feel like it's in a rebuild. Like, I feel like it was a certain way for so long, but now because everything is like streaming and all this shit. So I feel like they're trying to rebuild. How the fuck do I word this? Rebuild everything so it's kind of back to that norm that it was, but
yeah, the pillar, it's definitely having to reshape its pillars. Because what it was
answered your question or not, but
yeah, I definitely think, I don't think it's broken, but I think for a second it was broken in a way that we did not notice other than the fact that some of the quality of what was coming out was like, what the fuck? Like there was a lot of songs in the mainstream that was coming out that was like, why the fuck is this song this? Why the fuck is this? What the fuck? We had Living La Vida Loca, and then we had fucking Britney Spears, Give Me More. Like, this song is trash. What the fuck? I think that's when it was really broken, because even the industry didn't know what the fuck they wanted to put out or how to fucking capture fans, and then you had somebody else that was just blowing up.
I think it only works for artists that are already established. And is the part that's fucking broken. You know? Like, what's that fucking dumbass clip I saw a couple months back of fucking like Machine Gun Kelly standing on a fucking table, like spitting his album? Like, I thought that was the dumbest shit that I ever fucking saw.
Well, all right, tell me about what.
Yo, it's literally like a 7 fucking second clip, and he's just like running up and down the fucking a board table. Like
people are watching him?
Yeah, his record label.
Oh, wow.
And he's just fucking dancing along with his. I can't believe you didn't fucking see it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a real thing. Yeah, please.
So what I want to
and I don't lose what you're about to say. This one will be quick. So I think that the industry doesn't give a fuck about the new guy or the new girl because they don't know what the fuck they could make off of them yet. But they treat a motherfucker like Eminem or, you know, someone who's established, someone who has a 1, 2, 3rd project out that has made them money very fucking differently. But they I mean, case in point with fucking, you know, any new artist that comes out that gets a fucking awful deal coming out the gate, you know?
Okay. So I wanted to kind of switch gears.
Yeah. I don't want to, I'm not trying to cut nobody off.
I wanted to talk about your marketing scheme. Oh, the shit. Okay. I'm about to flip it right back to you. But I wanted to talk about your marketing scheme. What originated, like, when did you come up with your scheme? Like the stickers, the shirts, and how did you come up with that? Just kind of out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I definitely think, you know...
people gonna try to steal this shit, though, man.
I think... No. Well, first of all, you're talking about you're talking about your past. So, if it's stolen, it's stolen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Once it's out there, you've opened yourself up to being jacked. But I do think that you've had some of the most innovative marketing from somebody that I had no idea. I didn't hear a single Joey Bat song, but you know what? I fucking knew the name fucking many years before I heard a Joey Bat song, which is great marketing.
Thanks. So I was doing music really, really heavily. I'm going to take it all the way back. Really, really heavily out of college. So much so where I didn't have to use my degree, and I didn't step into teaching right away. I was just touring the East Coast. We went out to California a couple times, Oregon. We did the Smiley Face tour down through the South. We were touring. We were doing in-stores and like Virgin Records.
This was all before you were starting to do some of your marketing?
All before marketing. This was all before teaching, correct.
Okay.
We got to the point where like stuff was really, really popular. At that point, I had another MC with me. We had a record deal on the table, and he didn't want to sign it, and the record label didn't want just me. So they wanted the whole package. Gotcha. So that I definitely got really, really fucking depressed, and I kind of like spiraled out of control, and like I left the state of Connecticut. I was like living out of my car for a while. And it wasn't until my sister was like, yo, you got a fucking degree, just get a real fucking job and stop being fucking homeless and living out of your car when you don't have to. So I called the only school that I had ever known, which was Hartford High, because I had done some tutoring there when I was in college, like my student teaching. And they said, yeah, we remember you, come on in for an interview. And I remember like going in for an interview, and then they offered me like a relocation package to live in Hartford. So boom, I'm back in Hartford. Within 2 months of teaching, I realized that I still wanted to do music. So I'm in my classroom and I'm just fucking thinking of like stupid melodies, and I just remember coming up with like, and we gonna be the best of friends, and if you love me, then you know me, and we gonna be the best of friends.
Which is catchy, like, just because it's almost like a jingle too. So,
yeah. And I think that's where my head went first. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't have a beat. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have anything like that. Yeah. You know, so I'm just fucking coming up with shit in my head.
Never writing a song without a beat again.
Liar. The teacher next to me was the photography teacher. And he just came into my room one time after class, and like he liked the lighting. He was like, "Yo, can I take a picture of you? I'm gonna use it for some photography classes." And then he showed me the picture, and I was like, "Yo, you should vector me out to be like the Obey Giant stickers." You know, you have Andre the Giant, the Obey. And then because I was writing that song, I put fucking Joey Bats as my best friend on it, and then I just started fucking sticking them up. I mean, the rest is fucking pretty much history. Did you?
I've always wondered this.
Yeah.
Right now, did you put them all up yourself?
No,
because I was like, ain't no way this nigga. Because the thing is, I would be in like random spots, even maybe in fucking New York or some shit.
Yeah.
And I'll just be walking, and I'll see a Joey Bass sticker. And I'm there's no way this nigga's just walking by like Charlie Brown, just going swap, and then looking at a fucking speed bump and going swap. Yeah. I was like, who the fuck? What's up with his brain?
So you guys were definitely really, really, really young. Even you, Ren. I'm pretty sure I'm older than you. You guys were definitely very, very young. But you know, you said this earlier, like there were just places to go for music. There were just fucking venues, man. Yeah. If you wanted to see a DJ, if you wanted to see a white band, if you wanted to see an old white band, if you wanted to see a jazz band, a blues band, a rock band, a reggae band, you know, and Sully's was the only place where you could do independent hip hop. Yeah. And the first time I went there was 2001, and I was in college, and I was like, yo, this is dope. It was the first thing in Connecticut, in Hartford, that looked like Long Island, that looked like Brooklyn, that looked like the New York City ciphers.
Yep.
So I knew that whatever the fuck I was gonna do, I wasn't just gonna be a rapper to just rap. I wasn't just gonna be a rapper on a rapper. You know, I wanted to be, you know, a rapper on stage. I never liked MCs and DJs, so I that's why I wanted to come up with a band. But at live shows, you know, being out there, it was always like buy one sticker, get one free. You know, one's for your laptop, put another on the sign. You know, and it just kind of spread like wildfire.
That's you know? Definitely great.
I don't know if I honestly don't know, and I'm not just saying this being nostalgic and being an old head. I don't know if that marketing works this year. I don't know if that fucking marketing works in 2020. Even Yuzu had this problem, right? Even Heel had this problem. There was nothing to fucking do in 2009, bro. You couldn't fucking sit in your room, in your house, in your apartment with your fucking phone.
Just,
you know?
Inundating
yourself. You couldn't meet a bitch, bro. There wasn't even fucking, you know, Match.com didn't even come out yet. You know what I'm saying? Oh, maybe it did. Maybe it did.
I was on that bitch. I know.
You know, like you were out there. You know what I'm saying? You were out. You never had the feeling like, damn, I'll just catch the highlights later on.
No, definitely not.
Or someone
definitely
else will just post videos of the show.
If you was watching it, you was watching it.
You know?
That's it.
And it was a different
and you were
time.
looking for it. It wasn't.
And you could put a flyer, bro. You would hang a flyer in the fucking main pub, and 70 people would be there off the strength of the flyer.
Yep.
Not a MySpace page, not a Facebook date.
It definitely takes a lot more work now.
It's crazy.
It's a lot more. You know, come check it out. But also,
I don't even know if it it's not even that it takes a lot of work. You have to go above and beyond the marketing value to prove to this one motherfucker that this show on October 10th will be different than the show on October 25th.
And you know what sucks?
And you got to prove to not just one but 75 motherfuckers differently.
Yeah, that could lead to straight up insecurity for an artist. Like, how the fuck do I know I'm good enough to put as much as I'm putting in to get you to come here? And you know, I think my music is good. But if you don't like my music, then I've just fucking done all this work to get you to market for it to still be in the same place.
Yeah, because I've always gotten to a point where, like, when it comes to like promoting and shit, where I just be like, okay, maybe I'll hit up people directly.
Yeah,
you feel me? But then you realize, like, yo, you know how much it will fucking take for me to hit up 80 people?
Yeah. Not only that, nigga, I'm still insecure about that. Like, some of the stuff that you do when you hit up people directly, just to like get somebody to come to like a dinner or anything like that, I'm just like, yo, fuck, like. That's exhausting just because it's like, all right, so if I hit you up 2 weeks before, you might say yeah, you might say nah. But then you might forget, then you might double book. Then I got to remind your ass like a week before. Then I got to, all right, so I hit you up fucking 2 Sundays ago. Now I got to hit you up again the next Sunday, so it wasn't too needy. But then I also got to make sure that Sunday was a reminder and this Wednesday is the confirmation. Yeah, you coming? And then I may still have to hit you up that Saturday because that's when the event is, and I don't know if you come in. I don't know if I should waste my time fucking driving over.
Yep.
And now multiply that by 60 motherfuckers.
There you go.
But what I did actually for my birthday, when I had my birthday dinner, that I realized that kind of worked. Even though most of them are close homies.
Yeah.
But, you know, you just fucking jot something out in your Evernote or whatever the fuck your notes is, and then you just copy and paste. But even that takes a while.
Yeah, because you're still going person for person. Yeah. It's still great to go into like Facebook Messenger, type out the message, and then just start going down and going send. Yeah,
because especially for like a show, the first people you're thinking of was like, all right, who actually shows up to my fucking shows?
Yeah.
All right, is this person, boom. Okay, boom, 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 boom. All right, who might have told me that they want to go, but whatever the fuck is stopping them from going? Boom, 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 boom. And it's a process just to get niggas to like,
and that's just to get the people that you already have seen. Yeah. When really, as artists, as creatives, as anything like that, we do care about outreach. You know what I'm saying? It's cool if Jobo's a fan of me. It's cool if Joey's a fan of me. It's really great if the guy that I haven't fucking met from a hill of beans whatsoever and may never meet me in my life still can say that what I've done, what I've projected, he either got the vibe to, he got the fuck to, he got the fucking, it changed his life, like whatever, you know, that outreach was an influence. And you're never going to talk to that guy to get to promote to him. So it still boils down to the product, and it still boils down to whether or not the product is not only good enough for you to take it and like it, but for you to take it and talk about it elsewhere where that person, emphatically enough, where that person goes, you know, what was that shit that guy was telling me about? Fucking some place with little burgers, White Castle, what was it? You know, fuck it. Yeah, I guess I'll try him. You know, I'm looking for him. Or In-N-Out Burger or whatever the fuck that shit is. Yeah, so I definitely think the amount of work. I don't know if either of you guys saw Ryan Leslie. He had a Breakfast Club interview, and he was talking about how a lot of people feel like he fell off.
That shit.
Huh?
I said, Joey don't watch that shit.
Well, you know, I'm summarizing really. Most Joey people was like, why did Ryan Leslie?
Joey in here creating shit.
Right, Joey in here fucking cutting up owls and shit. Like,
no, I do not have any owls in my house. If the EPA is listening, I don't have any owls in my house. Come on, dog.
My bad. But the thing is, like, you know, and most people still don't know who Ryan Leslie was, even though he was fucking massive as a producer and so forth in the industry. But a lot of people think that he fell off. And he talked about that completely and how he said, you know what? People think I fell off. But when you looked at my album sales, I never sold more than like 75,000 for any of my albums first week. I was never a big star to begin with. But he said what I then did was I decided rather than doing all this other shit to try to become this big ass tempo, I'm just going to focus on my core fan base. And so he said then he started working on a platform that would really text directly to his fan base, which is why back when like Twitter was early, the nigga said he just tweeted out his fucking number and people started fucking messaging him, this and that, so forth, so on. And so he created a platform to be able to send out like when a show was going on, like if he was having a merch sale. Yeah, and it was basically like he started doing that. I think it's called something phone, Moto phone or some shit like that.
I've always looked into like mass text apps just because it would be a shit ton easier.
Yeah.
But I never really I don't think I've ever found like legit ones.
Well, he was literally going above and beyond to the point where when you entered your information in on his website, it would basically like tell you like even like the birthday and shit like that. Yeah. So he would set it up where like even his program would send you a happy birthday text from fucking Ryan Leslie on your birthday and shit like that. Now, of course, you could stop it like any other problem. Yeah. But like shit, Subway been sending me fucking coupons that I gotta go to the website for. I ain't shut that shit down in 3 years. So who the fuck knows who's still getting texted by fucking Ryan Leslie? But he said he just started adding up the math and the dollars and was like, if I got 75,000 fans. And I get the $10 from those 75,000. I didn't spend on excessive marketing. I didn't have a big machine behind me doing this, which he did prior to. He was like, I still made such and such millions of dollars without having to have 10 million people buy the album, or 100,000 people go to the show, or whatever the fuck the venue or the tour was. Yeah. And that was his method. So is that still is that still making it? Is that still a success? Or no?
I mean, it works, but I don't know if it works for niggas on.
I guess it depends on what you want. You know, if you're trying to get a certain type of legacy or not.
Yeah, but I also think he has a certain type of money to make that plausible.
I think swing that over here.
Well, he definitely didn't have to worry about fucking. What if this don't work?
Yeah, I think a big part of marketing is knowing who you are and understanding how you want to market yourself.
Agree.
You know, I always respected that about Jobo, even when I didn't like him that much. You know.
Shit. Listen, after this episode, he like, I don't even like Ren like that. Why's he here?
No, I never liked him. It's that's okay.
I believed it. Why'd you let him in my house?
Yeah. The whole thing was like he never wavered on like who he wanted to be and how he wanted to market himself, and he never sacrificed that for anything. Mm-hmm. You know, a big part of the Joey Bats marketing was I marketed myself. Mm-hmm. The Joey Bats brand doesn't work without me. You know, sadly, no one gave a fuck about who was in my band. You know what I'm saying? And that was all right.
But you know what? In real life, it happens like that all the time. Yeah. You got a band.
You know, and I love those guys, and they had plenty of people who came to the shows. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But like, I could get a different drummer. I could get a different guitar player, but you don't get a different MC. You don't get a different Joey Bats. So that marketing worked. Now, furthermore, the people who bought my stuff, some of them may not necessarily even fuck with the whole project. You know? There were a lot of people who bought Bowtie Chronicles that didn't like my first 3 7 Deadly Sins. Yep. There were some people who bought Vandalize who didn't like to see me drop my stuff on Lust. You know? And there are plenty of people who like me in Yuzu, but they weren't Joey Bats fans, and they don't know my full fucking history. Yeah, but the brand worked because of me. What's frustrating is to see people upset. Let's talk about locals again. Mm-hmm. People who are upset locally that they don't get any attention, but they don't know how to market themselves, and they don't know how to market their product.
Well, they don't
know how to market their product.
This is really, a really tense conversation. I think there's also a lot of niggas who are upset that they don't get attention, and they ain't even trying to get attention. Yeah. But somehow, you're mad that I'm not giving you attention. Yeah. Like, nigga, you have to step out your house. Fuck the corona. You have to step out your house. Yeah. If you want me to be able to pay attention to you. You know, regardless of how you fucking get me to do it. I don't give a fuck if you wear a pink fucking feather and fucking put that on your fucking forehead and you walk with that shit for 6 months. If that's what gets me to pay attention to you, and then I go, why the fuck's that nigga doing it? Because it's just my spirit, dog. But anyway, here goes my mixtape. This nigga's
boom, you might listen.
Exactly.
You might fucking listen.
I just seen niggas fucking, and the thing is, I don't want this approach a lot because it's fucking trash. But shit, it probably might have been with Jobo anyway. I remember this one time. Yeah, it was. We was looking for fucking apartments a couple years back, and this dude came over and he was touting himself mad hard. Like, yo, my music is fucking this and that. Like, he was just talking so big about himself. And me and Joe were like, yeah, we've seen this shit before. But he kept talking so hard about himself that when we got done looking at apartments, we was in the car, dude had gave us a CD, and we was just like, yo, fuck it. Like, I don't even remember if we paid for it or not, but if we did, it was just fuck it. We just gonna do it just to fucking be supportive. And we got in the car, we was like, we already expect this shit to be trash. But we gonna get a nigga a shot, because fuck it. You said what you said, yeah. So we put the shit in the car. And of course, we just picked that shit apart, like left and right. But that was part of his fucking marketing. That's not going to work on anybody else that didn't just want to be supportive or somebody that didn't do what we did.
You remember when we were in Boston?
Yeah.
And
Butterfly Home.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And there was this dude that just kept would walk up to people, and he would just say he would say something like the same. He would say the same thing every time. And then he would start freestyling, and then he would offer yo, buy my CD.
Was it the same freestyle?
I don't know.
No, it was an actual freestyle.
Okay.
But it was just
something
like
quick, like 2 bars.
Yeah.
Like, yo, you look beautiful in the sun rays. You know? your hair's the color of hay. Yo, anyway, my man's Mr. Butterfly. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here hustling. You don't got my house.
$5. So another question I want to ask you. Where are we at now?
Nigga, we're almost at an hour and a half. Fuck
okay.
it. I was just like, look, I'm gonna just let it go to 2 because there's a lot of conversation here, and at the same time, fucking, I think it's good conversation, and I think that having opposing, I think it's good.
I want to ask you about your Do you think it was a transition from your? I don't want to call it a gimmick because I don't think it was necessarily a gimmick because you're a good guy.
And I'm in your
from your like your Joey Bats and them, you know, the stickers, the merch, the colorful
best friend Joey,
to like the Yuzu stuff.
That's a good question, man. That's definitely a good question. There was a transition there. It came to a head with "Party at My Place" and the selfie song. It came to a head right there where I was just specifically writing songs that was a fuck you to that whole lifestyle. Okay. That it was a huge fuck you to the populace, and it was a huge fuck you to me being in a bar at the age of 32, 33 and not enjoying myself and, you know, writing very simple fucking lyrics for people who I didn't think cared.
Because you were with Selfie, because I remember seeing that shit on like ESPN and shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, like yo, this dude Joey, because I don't think like we weren't the closest at the time.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh shit, like watching ESPN and you just seeing, hey, and it's just like, nigga, that shit says Joey Bats, like, oh fuck, that's cool. That's what the fuck I want to do.
You know,
yeah, you feel me?
You know
like,
the name, you know the guy, you know he's local.
Like, but oh shit, what the fuck was my question? God damn it, my fucking memory.
You smoking weed, ain't you?
Yeah, man.
Get out of my house.
It was something about the fucking. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot what the fuck.
It'll come back to you.
It'll definitely come back.
Let me finish my main thought.
Oh shit.
So with that being said, I just wanted to make sure that I was frustrated. You know what I'm saying? I was frustrated. Going back to your consumer thing, you know, I always treated people like consumers, and I never gave people the benefit of the doubt, and I still don't. And, you know, I hope that motherfuckers don't listen to this and feel differently about me. But, you know, when I'm on stage, $, $, $, $, $, you know, I don't want to fucking rap about your driver's license. But if that's going to help you fucking remember me and come to my next show where you're paying to get in, fuck yeah, I'm out here.
So did you feel like you were having like because like you said, you made and marketed yourself.
Correct.
How you felt.
Correct.
About yourself and so forth.
Correct.
Did you feel like at that point now?
I just got older, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Like now you were having a disconnect.
Yeah, the way I marketed myself at 25
versus what they were expecting from
you. The way I marketed myself at 25 just didn't age with me. You know, nothing bad. I still, you know, give people Joey Bat stickers. People still want them. People still send me pictures of them.
At this point, it's CT nostalgia.
Yeah, I could still drop, you know, Joey Bat's merch and people will still like it. The thing about Yuzu is that, you know, growing up, like the music that I listened to, man, it was never. I didn't even like Tribe Called Quest. I didn't even like De La Soul. Like they were even too soft for me. I didn't like the Beastie Boys. They were too soft for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to fucking spit. You know what I mean? I wanted to be lyrical. I wanted to be grimy. I wanted to always. That was always my fucking, you know, motive. The reason why I was scared to get into teaching was because I didn't know how I could make fucking grimy music as a school teacher. Yeah. You know? But, you know, it get to that age where I was just surrounded by people that were talented and didn't fucking have the same setbacks. What'd you say?
Hang-ups.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. They didn't have the same hang-ups as me. They didn't have the same career as me. So it was like, well, these motherfuckers are making organic music. Yeah. Not fucking, damn, what song can I make that'll be on ESPN? Yep. You know? Yep. Yeah, sure. You know what I'm saying? That 5,000 check was dope.
That's the question I was going, not to cut you off.
Yeah, you good.
I was going towards. Like you were making that type of music to get a certain result or to get a certain
100%.
to put yourself in a certain
100%.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. No. Yeah. 100%.
You felt like you were selling the soul a little bit. You was giving them maybe not the whole thing, but a little corner of the cheese.
Yo, if I could fucking like. I mean, I'll probably hit up Jobo tomorrow or in 2 months, and I'll say, yo, I got an idea for a fucking song. Let's just make it. Put as many fucking power hitter references in it, and I could market that shit for the home run derby.
I think we've actually had a couple of ideas like that.
And chances are they'll use it for the fucking home run derby. Yeah. Like I am thankful enough that I have that power and I have those connections. But like, does that make my soul feel good? Do I fucking appreciate that? Do I like it as much as I did Get Over Here and fucking Attack and Invade and some of my and Breakfast, Lunch, and Dinner? Fuck no, man. Fuck no. There's not many verses on any of my Joey Bats albums that are even memorable or even like lyrical, And I always grew to hate that.
I got a question. All right, and this kind of goes back to part of the conversation that we had in the beginning with the money thing. All right, with those connections, being able to maybe secure a bigger bag to do some of the stuff that was soul wrenching to make a little bit. But if you knew that you was going to get enough of a bag to be able to then do the further things that would escalate yourself, is that really fully selling your soul, or is that just like, look, I had to do what I had to do? No different than somebody saying, like, shit, I had to sell drugs, just fucking get what I got, but I stopped when I could.
Yeah, but the issue with me is the other stuff didn't escalate anything.
Yeah.
It just evened it out. It never escalated anything, know? Sure, like, do I want to fucking do a corny ass fucking gig on, in a fucking stupid city that I'm scared to make fun of a city. And everybody in Torrington is like, fuck that guy. You're not welcome back.
Screw this guy, yo.
But like, if they're gonna give me $1,000, but I gotta get if I could pay my band and I could pay myself to do that shitty gig, and then in turn, do a fucking banging ass gig for free, then that works.
Yeah.
The thing about escalating, man, it's all hype, dog. Like Jobo was saying with that Attack shit, motherfuckers just, what's the point of being on ESPN? I got a dope check and then I could brag about it forever, but like, I'm still in the same place, man.
It's still a story. Yeah.
But people fucking love hype. This industry fucking loves hype.
Well, that's the reason why, I like I said, I've studied, I pay attention to a lot of industries. And I know, like, even sometimes with, like, movie directors, sometimes what they say is, like, actually, I think Christopher Nolan was a big proponent of this. He'll say, one for you, one for me. So basically, like, when he was making Dark Knight Trilogy, all right, I made this Batman film. In between that, I went and made, Memento, or I made whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Then I made Dark Knight. Yeah. In between that, I made Inception or whatever the fuck. Mm-hmm. Then I made, what I'm saying? And he would do that because of the fact that this was giving me, though he had passion for the franchise, this was giving me the acclaim, and this was giving you the faith to let me do something else. And so, sometimes that's the principle. I think even Steven Spielberg was on that same shit too.
Yeah.
But, now he just do whatever the fuck he wants.
I fuck with it, man. I think it's really, really fucking. I think it's really, really fucking dope. The issue is like, I'm not on that level, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, those are all really good questions, man. That's really what my marketing has done for me.
I think I got one more user question.
Oh boy.
Think.
It's like a half-ass like Joey Bass interview, half-ass Yuzu interview, half-ass huge discussion. Half-ass.
Name your list your favorites. 1 to whatever the fuck.
And I know my laugh cut out the last thing he said, but
my favorite what?
Your favorite of the whole
cheesecake.
Literally your favorite.
No, bro, I can't do that.
Desserts.
I got to rank user members.
Yeah.
Yo.
1 through 9?
Yo, first of all, it's just too many names at that point. Like, who the fuck do I know? I remember I like this guy's verse.
Sorry, the niggas that wasn't even in the group and shit.
Niggas ain't even there.
Dylan.
Yo, you're fucking.
I'm just curious of just how you viewed
He really wants an answer. And I thought it was a joke.
No, I really do. I'm curious on how you do. I'll do mine too. But
Damn. Oh shit.
Do I include me?
yeah, because I'm definitely putting myself number one.
Yo. Okay. Yo.
I
What
actually
happened?
wouldn't though. From like a lyrical standpoint, I wouldn't put myself number one.
I guess it depends on what you mean as far as like presence and lyrics. But I mean,
everybody-
without breaking it down, just overall scores.
Yeah, everybody.
Oh my god, yo, this is like overall scores, bro.
Well, you know what it is? Because, like, for instance, if you asked me my top 10 rappers, and you were just like, but just lyrically, it's a completely different
I
list
know.
than my top 10
I know
rappers.
it
just in
is.
general.
That's what I'm saying. But I haven't put them into the fucking equation yet. All right, one. This sucks.
Does it really?
Yeah, man, this is tough for me.
Hey, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I guess.
If it wasn't tough, it'd be like, yo.
Give me. But wait, hold on. Before you put those nuts in your mouth.
Yo.
Sponsored by Planters Dry Roasted.
Yo.
Give me at least 2 or 3 criteria, so I know that I'm not bringing
So
in the
what you're looking
whole.
for?
Yeah.
Okay.
So lyricism.
Okay, I hear you.
Shit. Lyricism,
Showmanship.
and you could do maybe. I don't want to do marketing because it's only really me and you that do marketing and music.
All right, hold on.
Non
showmanship, and presence.
Presence, yeah, you can do presence. Wait, what is showmanship technically?
Basically, I think showmanship basically comes down like flow. How you
No,
deliver.
the visual.
Yeah.
Okay.
The visual is showmanship.
Okay.
Like all of us on the stage rocking. So with that, if I'm using these 3 criteria, and I don't have to factor in who I felt was dead weight, if I don't have to factor in who I felt was what
No, we're talking about the old rendition of Yuzu.
there is not a new one.
Okay.
So
There was a whole new class.
I shouldn't say dead weight. If I don't have to factor in who I felt didn't do anything that helped the business and the product, then this is easy. So lyricism, showmanship, and
Presence.
Yeah.
and presence.
And I get that kind of leans into showmanship, but when I say showmanship, I mean mostly like flow, how you deliver, fucking, how you do come off the track, maybe ideas and shit like that. And then, presence would be, of course, how you hold yourself, what you do. Maybe if you market, maybe if you don't.
I gotta go.
The fact that it's 9 is just tripping me out.
I gotta go. Sloth 1.
Okay. I figured.
I'll go Sloth 1. I'll go Create 2.
Okay.
Yo, this nigga over here eating the nuts. Like, yo.
Are we counting Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Brooklyn's 3. I think I'm 4.
Yo, the longer the list goes.
I think Hooks is 5.
Yeah, I fuck with Hooks.
Which would mean Jaden 6.
I fuck with Hooks and I fuck with fucking.
I put you 7. I put Chris B 8. I put Deets 9.
I thought you was including yourself.
I guess.
So 4.
I guess.
Oh, okay, yeah, he did.
I guess Parker's 10 and then Q's 11.
Yeah, all right. I can see that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Zach's 12.
At that point, it's just like, nigga, okay, this ain't fucking Brockhampton and shit. Like, oh my god, how many more members?
Yeah, but like I said, like that. I think if I was doing it and writing it out, there'd be a lot of like 2A, 2B, like 3A, 3B. I think that'd be a lot.
If you had to break the columns down more, but overall, sometimes that happens. Like some niggas will fucking hit. If you had like 10 different lists on a category of whatever the fuck people did, one guy might hit 6 number ones and then be like, yeah, but overall now you're at fucking 8.1. Why? Because fucking those other 4 categories.
Am I counting Rudy? If I'm counting Rudy, I'm putting Rudy ahead of right behind Brooklyn.
Okay, that's solid. All right, let's go, bro.
You doing yours?
He said he gonna do it, so you might as well. As the kings say, never send a man into battle that you won't go into yourself.
I will definitely put Sloth 1. I will put Hooks 2.
It's my guy. I
would put
him in the dimple.
We're counting this for just Yuzu, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Sloth 1, Hooks 2. I will put you 3. I will put I will put Jaden 4.
You can tell his mind was like, I better be top 5.
I would put Brooklyn 4, Jaden 5. Shit, who's left?
Deeds, Parker, Bell.
Deet 6.
Create is left too.
Oh yeah, Create.
Yeah.
Deet 6, Bell, Chris B 7th. Create, Deet's 8. Create 9.
Who the fuck was 7 there? You said Chris B 6, and then you said Deet 7, and then you said Deet
Brooklyn
8.
7.
Oh, okay.
No,
Brooklyn was up there.
Yeah, Brooklyn was way up there.
Yeah, Brooklyn. What the fuck? Okay, let me do this shit over.
Tell you my top 5.
Sloth. Who the fuck I said was second? Sloth Hooks.
Yep.
Me.
Sloth Hooks.
Joey.
Me.
Joey Jaden. Yeah, we gonna play this shit back later, and my shit gonna be all different.
Oh, you forgot Brooklyn again.
Okay, I had Brooklyn before Jaden. So Brooklyn 4, Jaden 5. Who the fuck am I not thinking of?
Yo, Chris B.
You're not thinking about the classic members, Chris B, Create, Q.
Parker, Q.
I had Chris at 7, so I had
Chris
somebody
B is
before him.
Deets.
I probably
Deets was 7 or 8 for you.
Okay, so Chris at 6, Deets at 7, Create at 8, Parker at 9, Q at 10, and if we had to put Rudy in there, I would put Rudy.
And you forgot you.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
me.
you did. Damn. That nigga, I would put myself at 11. like
No, I don't know.
Because everybody's great. PC ass answer.
Parker definitely in front of me.
Yo, this shit is diabolical.
Yeah, that's bad funny.
Yo.
All right, let me do this shit one more time.
They ain't never gonna hear this shit. They don't listen to us.
You want me to write them down?
Yes, please.
You want
Yeah,
me to-
man.
Please, actually, yo,
Written down
yo,
is
because
way-
my brain is so fried.
Nah, you gotta, with them written down. Like, I could do it written down. Don't ask me to remember all these niggas. Don't ask me to do that shit at all.
You can do one too, actually.
I mean, I ain't got no problem doing that shit. I ain't fucking... I don't separate classic. I put them as a unit
put 'em as a
because
unit,
they
then.
are supposed to be a unit.
Yeah, you could do that.
You know, and like I guess I mean, as far as Aquemini, I mean, if you want me to separate them, I will because I feel like they hold different themselves.
yeah.
But I wouldn't. I wouldn't separate classic. I would just say classic.
Word. Perfect.
Perfect.
Okay.
I gotta get the NPC, dog.
All right. So Sloth.
Yep.
Sloth not even on the list.
Yo, Sloth not on the paper, but he done got number ones all over the place.
Sloth. Cross it out.
Don't cross them out because Ren's got to use this.
Oh
Yeah.
shit, my
Or
bad.
just put one line. Put one line so you can still read.
Selfish.
How the fuck you spell Sloth? Okay.
Well,
Sloth. Hooks. I might have to put Brooklyn 3.
I just wrote down the names and I go down?
No, wait, no. Didn't I put Jaden 3 first?
No.
nah,
I
you
was
put
three.
Joey
Okay,
3.
okay.
Twice.
Joey 3.
Nah, don't put you down.
No, because I was looking between Jaden and Brooklyn. Because I thought I had Jaden at 3.
Yo, I need an NPC so bad.
All right. Jaden at Joey 3, Brooklyn 4, Jaden 5.
Put the mark.
So you better mark it.
4, 5. Me 6. Bell 7. Create 8. Deets 9. Rudy 10. CP Q.
Dang. All right. Jeebus.
This nigga Chris Bell too close to me on our list though.
Let me on your own list.
Yo, we were fucking deep, man.
Yeah. All right. Let me make real quick work of this real quick.
What's crazy, yo? My brain was just like every time I did that shit. Like,
Let me see real quick.
That's just an interesting conversation. Like,
all right. I'm going Brooklyn 1.
That's interesting.
I'm going Jaden 2. Ty 3.
It's interesting from like an outside perspective.
See, it's tough. I'm not gonna separate fucking.
Yeah, don't separate them. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm not gonna separate Rudy and CP. Just fuck it, because they're a group. So, let's see. I just said Ty 3. So I am going to go Jobo 4. Is it 4? Hold on. No, hold on. I don't want to do 4. I'm gonna go Deets 4.
Wow. Whoa! Whoa! In front of me?
In front of me?
Nigga, what?
I'm gonna do
In front of
What?
Yo, for a second.
These don't even want to rap no more, nigga. What the fuck?
First of all, shout out to Deets.
Yeah, that's a guy.
Mikey Whites, that's my fucking guy, bro.
That nigga ain't a better fucking
but
than me.
we're talking showmanship.
I mean,
he walked off stage like 7 times.
7 times.
I mean, listen.
Fuck your list, Ray.
I wasn't.
Fuck your list, bro.
I wasn't there for the times he walked off stage.
Are we at 2 hours yet, man? Can I leave?
Can I leave my own house?
I'm just, but like you said, from an outsider perspective, y'all got way more insight. You know what I'm saying?
I got pee.
That's I might bump it down though. That's a tough one for me. I'm battling between Deets and Jobo on 4. That's why.
Look, I'm in a battle.
If you're right, we're going showmanship, so I'll give Jobo 4. Yeah, then I'll do Joey 5. I will do Classic 6.
I'll take that.
Since I accidentally moved Deets, actually I'll put Deets at 6, and then I'll put Classic at 7, Chris Bell at 8, Create at 9, and then I don't really know much from Q, so she just has to be 10, because I really don't know much from Create or from Q.
Sure.
So they're gonna have to be my 9 and 10, and I don't think I skipped anybody else.
All right, so what was it?
So my number 1 was real quick. What the fuck? What was I at? My number 1 was Brooklyn. Then it was Jaden. Then it was Hooks. Then it was Jobo. Then it was Joey, Deets, Classic, Bell, Q, Create.
Okay. Yeah, we almost fought over that deal.
Hey, listen, man. I like.
Nah, it's cool to get it from an outsider's perspective, but
yeah. I mean, listen,
but
like you said, you guys are from the inside, so all I can go based off of is just what I've seen from the videos from maybe a show or two. You guys have actually been on tour and all this other shit, so you guys have multiple different feelings on multiple different things. I wasn't there when somebody walked off stage or somebody fucking didn't do their job or something like that. So all I can go based off of is certain things that I've heard. And I happen to know,
those nigga dudes used to dead ass get. I ain't gonna get into it.
But one of the benefits.
Yeah. Go ahead.
One of the benefits was always the simple fact that we had so many people, in the group that people always gravitated towards other different people, man. That was a beautiful thing.
You're not wrong. Like if this was a fucking a star rating. and it was just like, all right, rate this artist as you think as stars.
Yeah.
Then there's multiple people who would have got like 3 stars from me as opposed to whatever. But when you got to put it in a position, now I'm thinking, all right, who would I listen to more? Who do I like their flow a little more?
And trust me, there's plenty of people who came just to see a Aquemini in the middle of a Yuzu show. There's plenty of people who did, love classic and really wanted to see CP and Rudy. Especially in the early stages, Jobo, when we were just doing like our solo songs together. Yeah. Like that first time I went to Cape Cod and shit like that. Like there were people like you talk about just not clashes, but like the styles would move
I'm
so
gonna switch Deets in
differently.
In fact, so Deets gonna be 7, classic gonna be 6.
So there was definitely that. Interesting question, man. I don't think I've ever done that. Those numbers look, for me, that rating looks completely different when you start talking about like intangibles and what like people bring to the table.
Absolutely. But that's I really wanted to put my brain completely like, look, I was just on Facebook. If I just saw this shit and I happened to be to a couple of shows, what it was. If I went a little more in depth, then certain people will go up, certain people will go down. Now it might be by
That'd
one
be an
notch.
Interesting conversation, like rating Attack. Rating Invade, you know what I'm saying?
I can do that shit all day.
Like something like that. That might be fun.
5 stars. 1 star. I'm sorry. I'll do that all the time, and I think that just comes down to being like, look, nigga, like I hear the song how I hear the song, like because that's music and it's subjective anyway, And all this has been suggestive, but it's been a good conversation. This is officially our longest fucking episode.
Word. Shout out to the Brody Joey Bats for taking 2 hours out of his long, busy, rich person schedule.
Right? Getting frustrated over here and shit.
He has the mayor outside waiting for him right now.
Yeah, that's the longest conversation I've ever actually had with Teddy Wren. So
it is true.
That was fun.
It's very true.
That was fun. Thanks for having me. Good luck with all your other episodes when you have guests on. I think you guys got a good product, man. Keep pushing.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. Thanks, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's plastic this shit up.
All right, bitches, we're out.
Bitches.
All right, man.